And we got another big matchup hitting the lineup now. Adrian Buchan, a tour veteran, out there in the red jersey, up against Dusty Payne, who's had the call-up due to a few injuries on the championship tour in 2016.
He's also powerful. You know, he's not a weak surfer, and he just always makes those really clean snaps work for him.
And it's Adrian Buchan getting position for this first ride. First turn was a little flat. The wave's starting to stand up now, and Ace gets a more vertical approach on the second manoeuvre, throwing huge amounts of spray and a tidy finish there on the inside. And Dusty right behind him. Couple of solid moves. Wants that finish too. Really blasting off the foam there.
Advantage Dusty. That was pretty clear right there. What a wave for Dusty. He took off on that thing and it stayed steep for more than your normal wave today. You know, that was a bit of a lottery ticket there, and he teed off. I think he's definitely going to get the bigger score.
I think it's going to be very close.
Let's see, was it the second turn you liked?
This turn was flat, but the wave stood up here.
Nice snap. I don't think it was mind-blowing over Dusty's though. Good finish. He liked the finish. The finish was nice. That was his most committed turn. This wave was much better, bigger and longer. So he's already got that advantage. Better first opener. That was a clean carve there, a lot of rail. That snap got hung up a little bit in the wind. Just clean right there, but this closer was better as well, I think. It was committed, it was a heavy section. So did Dusty totally max out that wave scoring potential-wise? Maybe not, but pretty clean advantage, I think.
Well, the first real exchange, there was a three-point ride from Dusty earlier on, but the first real exchange is about to lock in from the judges, and I think they're having a really good think about it because there was big differences in each of those rides. Dusty had the better first turn. Ace got the better second turn. Dusty's wave, he got a tidy finish on the inside, he attacked the foam, but Adrian Buchan's wave, he kind of barreled on the closeout section. So the numbers starting to come through, and it is really close. Dusty Payne an 8.73, Adrian Buchan an 8.83.
Wow.
It was unanimous with the judging panel, each of the judges just giving, bar one, giving a slight edge.
So that first turn definitely strong, but this is where the wave got just a little funky for Dusty. It kind of reached out in front of him. So the middle two turns were decent. There's no real mistakes, but I loved that closing hammer. You know, he kind of just projected off that whitewash. Missed opening turn here, but really just due to the wind. Solid backhand snap there. On your backhand too, you have the advantage of really attacking it vertical. I'm sticking to my guns. I thought Dusty had the better of the two, but you know, it wasn't by much. Yeah, it's pretty wild, and it's ironic that he's up against Ace because Ace has had a lot of success on tour.
And here goes Buchan, strong first turn. Really critical serving there. That second maneuver was very solid. Just teed up those first two sections really well.
And that's why, you know, I was surprised. A couple of judges even went 9-3 for Ace's last wave, and I thought it was solid, but that right there, I thought, in my eyes, is a better ride. You know, a little more committed, a little crisper, more spray. So, you know, the ceiling is high.
Well, we might see both these surfers put up really big heat score totals as a result, as Dusty looks to take to the air. No dramas at the QS level. He's had some huge results. A win in Haleiwa 2014. He also finaled at Sunset that same year, and a win at Margaret's in 2013. The replay of Buchan's last ride, impressive.
It really is. I mean, so me personally, I like it better than his 8.83. So we'll see where the judge will settle with it, but just a little more on the money, a little stronger, right in the juiciest part of the pocket. It's great surfing from Ace.
But the number has just come through for the man in red, and Ace Buchan, he gets the lead at 9.17. Dusty Payne chasing a 9.27 now.
Well, there you go. You know, I just kind of touched on it before Ace caught a wave. I think the irony of this heat is Dusty's known for his web clips. He's known as, amongst all his peers, as a guy that's easily could be a top 5 guy. And then you have Ace, who's not known for his web clips. He's known for just being a solid competitor and a great surfer, obviously, as we see his technique right here on display. 12 o'clock right there, Ronnie. That was such a square turn. Beautiful surfing.
Back to live action, and with that priority, Ace is up once again, really finding some beautiful walls to attack here at the moment. He's going to jump off that one. Trying to better an 8.83. Probably won't do that, but nice surfing.
And so that's the psychology that gets kind of thrown in. And when you have these really, really big scores, when the scale's set high like this, it can throw the guy that's not in the lead off a bit. They just try too hard. They start going for airs or pushing for moves that aren't there. Such good surfing there, though, from Ace. I like that he was just slightly more aggressive than norm for him. He was right in the pocket and just slammed those moves home. So he's known as being, you know, very efficient, but that was a little more radical. Well, that's what's interesting about a lot of these injury replacements is they're not just Groms, you know, that haven't ever been on the tour. A lot of them are, you know, semi-veterans. And here we go. We're seeing Dusty Payne up against it. So he's mentally had to process being, you know, needing a really big score. That wave a little bit frustrating for him, just kind of behind it, got a little barrel. But he did finish it off. So will it be a 9.27? I'm not thinking it is, but no real mistakes on this wave. Just a challenging wave that it sped in front of him. You know, if he's going to get a really big score, he wants that thing to slow down a little bit where he can just throw down those meat hooks.
It's funny, isn't it? Because he surfed this wave so well, that first section. You know, it's probably more critical and more difficult to ride than the perfect wave that Adrian Buchan had. But when you're just trying to get to the open face, sometimes that the difficulty in making those turns, it isn't rewarded. They really want to see you get the opportunity to dig in and let go of something huge. And even though Dusty finished that wave off well, it's going to be tough for the judges to go all the way to a 9.27 for that ride.
I totally agree.
And positive signs for Dusty. The first judge says yes, 9.3.
Something that we didn't really put in the equation. We're just technically breaking that wave down in that replay, but the scale is set high. And the judges will pick up on that as well.
We mentioned that early on. Ace Buchan got a 9.17 for 2 turns. Dusty almost got there just now. He was chasing a 9.27. He got a 9.2 through that turn. He was just running on feel, but he came around the section, the wave kind of barreled. That's probably the sleepiest part of the wave. It's impressive surfing, but if you only just got that little barrel, it probably wouldn't have registered too many points.
That's right. You know, the barrel didn't really help him out, and then he finished the wave strong. So bookend maneuvers were really nice. If he could replace that barrel with a big old snap, boom, and you know, he would have got it.
I think he just went straight through the surface of the water there to the rock. Adrian Buchan has priority and the lead. He's looking to get rid of an 8.83 on this wave. Great start. This one's going to shut down though. He kicks out. That's going to work in Dusty's favour with just over 6 minutes to go. The Hawaiian having a look at this wave. Looks like it's got a better pace to it. He gets going straight away. A couple of big turns. Drifts that tail. Not easy to do. Trying to get control of his board back under his feet. You could see it was sort of a little caught up in the wash there.
And you know, for me personally, I struggle with that because it shouldn't be a black and white situation. Sometimes I feel like you do make a maneuver 80% of the way, and it does deserve a little bit of credit. As we see a recap right here, Adrian Buchan going to work, Ronnie. Just very clean, strong surfing too. You know, not just surgeon-like, very strong in the pocket. And Dusty, you know, you can see just a little more heavy-footed. He's got some himself some really big scores too. 8.73, backed it up with the 9.2. That was a really tricky wave to surf. I love that closing move from Dusty, but this wave right here was really made the difference. Some of the best surfing we've seen today. That snap right there was really nice. So much flow from Adrian Buchan. And you know, it's something I've heard you say in the past, Ronnie, that I think is so smart, something that Mick Fanning and a lot of the champions do. For Ace right now, he knows he's in close the heat out mode. And he passed up a really good wave just a second ago because he knew that Dusty was paddling back out. So I think right now, as we see the rest of this highlights, Ace is so smart. He's just going to try and close this thing out and not really give Dusty another chance.
Sometimes you'll actually, and there's not a real big influence, and it looks like Ace has finally made his move. Look at this, a nice beautiful wave too. And the wind seemed like that easterly direction, which has really groomed the lineup much prettier than we saw this morning, and maybe even lightened up slightly as it warmed up, which is what we expected. Now getting to see that last closeout section. How good is Ace? No mistakes ever.
Really sharp heat performance here from the Australian. Looking to improve on an 8.83 with that wave. And the 27-year-old is going to have to swing. There's a lot of foam on the face. This is going to be a tricky wave to surf. And Dusty can't even get into it. The hooter sounds. And a disappointing finish. And Dusty takes it out on his equipment.
Now there's the passion. So competitive, and you like to see that from Dusty. He surfed well in that heat. That's what stings.
Well, a tough loss. But Dusty performing so well. Have a look at the numbers there. Very close between these two competitors. Adrian Buchan, though, with impeccable wave selection and some big backhand snaps, getting the win.